We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello all, myself Dr. Shanti Verma. In this tutorial, I want to discuss some looping concepts in Python programming language. There are two types of loops in Python, that is a while loop and for loop. Let's discuss the uses of loops in Python. An application sometimes needs to perform repetitive actions. For example, summing numbers for finding the average, entering multiple data entries, prompting the user till the correct value is entered, and a shopping list, scanning through the shopping list and getting the items one by one until the list is down and then you leave. So the main application is loop is to perform the repetitive actions. When a program repetitively runs a set of statements, it is referred to as a loop or iterations or a repetitive structures. There are several types of looping structures. For example, while loops, do while loops and for loops. While and do while loops are conditional loops, while for loops is a counter control loops. Now let's discuss looping structure. Loops are similar to conditionals because they run on true-false value set. Conditional means, as we discussed in our previous tutorial of conditional statements in Python. The loop continuously runs while the condition is true and it terminates when it false. In true statement, as you see in the figure, the loop continuous run, but in the false condition, the loop break when the condition is false. Loops can be run for a desired length or until a flag terminates them. Great techniques to reuse code and therefore limit the amount of statements a program always needs. So, reusing the same conditional arguments for testing instead of posting hundreds. For example, let's there is a one variable number and I want to make a program where if the number is not less than equals to 10, the program prompts you to enter the number less than equals to 10 continuously. So for that I have taken a one variable number equals to int input enter number less than 10. So here is the input statement which prompts to enter which prompts to display this message and takes a user input, and int function converts this string input into a integer format. Then there is a while loop, then while number is greater than equals to 10. So print invalid entry, and if the entry is invalid, again input a number that is less than equals to 10. In the figure you can also see this program's flowchart. So read the first value. If this value is valid, display an error message and again there is a message to read the another value, and it continuously run when till that the user enters the valid value. Let's discuss the first while loop. A while loop is a loop that executes 0 or more times before terminating. Means it might be possible the while loop executes 0 time and it occur when the condition is false. The syntax for creating a while loop is while condition statement, then colon sign and the body of the while loop. The debugging techniques for the while loop is set up a counter to keep track of the number of times a loop runs. Set up a counter to count if an event is occurring or the number of times it occurs. Output values each time a loop execute. For using these different types of counter values, we can debug the while loop. Now, what's the counter? Counter is a variable that is incremented or decremented each time a loop repeats. It can be used to control execution of the loop and also known as the loop control variable. And it should be noted that it must be initialized before entering to the loop. Let's discuss an example of the while loop. In this program, you have to find the sum of numbers 1 to 10. So first we initialize a variable sum for storing the total with value 0. So sum equals to 0. Then we have to initialize a counter for which is used for starting the loop. I have taken a variable I, counter variable, and I equals to 1. So we have to start from 1. Now write a while condition while I is less than equals to 10. So it repeats the loop 10 times, and if the I value is less than equals to 10, it sum the value with the counter variable. So first time the sum value is 0 and counter value is 0, so sum is 1. Next time for next time we have to increment the counter value. So I equals to I plus 1, then I is 2, then 2 is also less than equals to 10. So then some value is 1 in the previous loop, then 1 plus 2, that is value is 3. This loop occurs continuously till the I value is less than equals to 10, and print the sum of the numbers from sum of 1 to 10 numbers in your console. Let's try this program in our compiler. So let's take a variable sum equals to 0. I have to write a program to sum of 1 to 20 numbers. So then I have to initialize a counter value which starts from 1. Then write a while loop while I is less than equals to 20, as I have to repeat the loop 20 times. Then sum equals to sum plus I, and I have to print, then we have to increment the counter value, that is I equals to I plus 1, and outside the while loop you have to write a print statement that sum of 1 to 20 is sum. Let's save this program with Ctrl S and run this program using F5 key. You can see that the sum of 1 to 20 is 210. Now let's discuss the for loops. The for loop in Python is used to iterate over a sequence, means either list or tuple or a string or some other iterable objects. Iterating over a sequence is called as a traversal. The syntax for writing a for loop is for val is a counter variable here in sequence. This sequence might be a range, this sequence might be a list or tuple or a string, and then the body of for. Here val is the variable that takes the value of the item inside the sequence of the each iterations. So we can say that val is a here counter variable also. You can see in the figure the for loop work as for each item in sequence, means whenever there is an element in a sequence, for each value this loop run, and when the last item reached, then it exit the loop, and if the last item not reached, it executes the body of the for loop. Let's take an example of for loop to find all the numbers that are stored in a list. So first we have to declare a list. Here I can declare a list with variable numbers, and here there are the 7 numbers in a list, and I have take a variable sum which is used to store the value of sum. Then the for loop for I in numbers. These numbers, there are, you can see that there are 9 numbers in a list. So this for loop iterates 9 times, and sum calculate the sum of the all the numbers that exist in a list, and print the sum of numbers stored in a list. Let's try this program by own. For that, sum of list elements using for loop. Let's first declare a one list. I have taken a variable num where I have to declare a list with integer numbers. Then I have to declare a variable sum that stores the total value. Then I have to iterate a loop for I in num. Here I is work as a counter variable. Then sum equals to sum plus I. And outside the for loop I have to print the sum. Print sum of list elements is sum. Let's save this program and press F5 for compiling. You can see that the sum of list elements is 72. In this lecture we have discussed the for loop, while loop. There is a one more range function in the for loop. We can generate a sequence of numbers using the range function. For example, range 10 will generate numbers from 0 to 9. Means there are 10 numbers but the range is 0 to 9. We can also define the start, stop and step size as a range. Step size defaults to 1 if not provided. Means 1 by 1 increment. We can use the range functions in for loop to iterate through a sequence of numbers also. It can be combined with the length function to iterate through a sequence using indexing. So let's take a one example, a program to iterate through a list using some indexing. There is a one variable genre. There are three elements in a list: pop, rock and jazz. Then the for loop where that works on indexing. For I in range length of gen, here the length of gen is 3, so this loop iterates 3 times. And print I like gen of I. So for first gen of 0, then gen of 1, then gen of 2. Gen of 0 is pop, gen of 1 is rock and gen of 2 is jazz. So it gives output as I like pop, I like rock and I like jazz. Thanks. If you like this video, please like, subscribe and comment. In the next lecture, I want to show you a live example of some programs with the using the different types of loops in the Python. So please watch the tutorial and give your feedback. Thanks.